brought to you by themobilefarmer.com.
Okay, Pete, so we're almost to the end now of farm show season.
Yep.
There's a lot of, thank goodness, for my part, probably you a little bit as well. We've done numerous presentations to farmers and ag industry people about what's kind of happening in tech. What are some of the things you've seen during farm show season here as we give these presentations?
Well, you've done a lot of farm shows. I've done a lot of seminars, and it's interesting, I guess, first off, the uptake in the technology and the level of expertise and knowledge on mobile, both phones, apps, tablets. But when you do enough of them or talk to enough farmers, there's a few things that really come across. Farmers want more apps, right?
Yeah.
That's what we hear at every seminar.
Where are all the apps?
Where are all the apps? And they have specific ideas about what they want. Record keeping, tag reading technology, inventory management for feed, other things.
Basically, everything that they do they do some sort of activity outside of the office, and then they have to go back to the office to enter all the information.
Right. Integration, I guess, is the word, right?
Yeah.
So there's existing software, but they want to be able to use their mobile device to, I guess, enter the data or take advantage of the technology. So it's not surprising, but I guess what's kind of cool about it is it's grassroots driven, and if programmers and companies are listening, I think there's a lot of opportunity to build really cool apps.
So who wins, who loses in terms of, let's talk about platforms first.
Right. That's the other thing.
Who's winning, who's losing?
You know this, a year ago, we always do before every seminar, you say, what device do you have? BlackBerry, iPhone, Android. And man, what a difference a year makes.
Well, 6 months even, I think.
So last year in Canada anyway, BlackBerry still predominant. What do you think? I still think we were getting 50% BlackBerry.
Well, I think it's higher. I would say 3/4 BlackBerry.
Yeah.
The other 25% is a combination of Android and iPhone. Probably more iPhone in that category, but it's the next purchase that really blows us away.
That's the question. You say, what's your next phone going to be? And BlackBerry falls off the table. So that's challenging too, right? It's where is it headed? I still tell people you can't pick a bad phone. They all work. But again, it comes down to the apps.
Yeah, and we gave one in Calgary a couple weeks ago where there's probably 50, 75 people in the room.
Right.
The old 3/4 are BlackBerry. Keep your hands up if you think your next phone purchase would be BlackBerry. Every single person dropped their hands, and it's pretty discouraging from a RIM perspective. But I think what's happened is there's so many, as you talk to farmers, they say, oh, my wife got an iPhone.
Right.
My wife got an Android. Boy, I really like it. I am getting rid of this device.
I guess it's the Android that really surprises me. I mean, a year ago, I remember you telling me, and probably on one of our first AgNerds, the Android.
Yeah.
We didn't see very many farmers with them a year ago, for sure. And now, I would say iPhone and the Apple platform, it's still doing well, but Android is eating BlackBerry lunch, right?
Yeah, I was having a coffee this morning with Mark Brock at the GFO booth, and he was telling me that he was just at Commodity Classic last week, and he said it's everybody has Android.
Yeah,
it's shocking. Like he runs a Galaxy 2, but he says that it's just everybody has Android.
Yeah, they're good phones, and I mean, we've built Scout Dock, our iPad app, and every day we get, when will it be ready for Android? So the market's telling us iPhone, Android is where it's at for the app development. And the other cool thing is, I don't know if you noticed this, but tablet uptake, it's surging now. Like, maybe not surging, but it's certainly on the horizon for a lot of guys. They know they're going to buy one, and they're saying, should it be an iPad? Should it be an Android? Label.
In terms of tablet uptake, though, I think one of the interesting things as we give these presentations is we talk about what the tablet has done, right? So a lot of guys asking questions, do I even need a laptop anymore?
Yeah.
A lot of guys asking questions, now that the cameras are so good on some of the phones, some of the tablets, do I even need a point and click?
Yeah.
All these, the devices that guys are buying are really changing.
Well, we had that conversation today with a guy, and he said, I need a new desktop. Should I even buy one?
Why bother?
And my thought was, and I mean, everyone has their opinion, but I thought, if you have a really good tablet, a really good phone, and a cheap laptop,
You're good to go.
I think you've got it.
Yeah.
A $400 or $500 laptop, and then top of the line phone and iPad, and basically you just need the laptop to run some software and do document production, right? Print things off.
For me, I would add one more thing to that. I would add a large screen that I can export my laptop screen to when I'm working in the office on spreadsheets or other things like that.
Yeah, but you spend a lot of time in the office too, right? Probably more.
Right. Is that a shot, or are you?
Well, you're an office
You're
jockey.
just saying.
I would like to spend less time in the office. But you're right. The screen landscape is cool when you're spending much time in the office, for sure.
Yeah. Is there anything that as you talk to, is there anything when we give all these presentations you're disappointed in, or sort of surprises you outside of the Android stuff?
Well, I guess I share some of the view that farmers have, is that corporate ag and organizational ag, our farm organizations, I think there's a real opportunity to serve farmers here. The demand is there. 2 years ago, I thought the challenge was, how do we get farmers to uptake the hardware? That's not the problem. It's giving them the tools now, and I think there'll be some entrepreneurial development of apps, and we're trying to do that. But there's a huge opportunity for companies to service their clients and for farm organizations to provide convenience. And you mentioned the GFO. You have to tip your hat to them with their Sell Smart app. They were early in, and Mark said they're going to build an Android version. So I think that's pretty progressive, and there's a lot more that could be done on that front.
And just like a lot of things, a gap develops, I think. And the number of different shows we've been at our booth, we've been at the Real Ag booth, we've been giving away iPads for different draws. And some people walk up and go, oh, perfect, that's exactly what I need, or no, thank you, I already have one.
Yeah.
And some people, the reaction is some sort of a surprising one where it's like, I don't have time for that. And we were joking earlier that, I wish I don't have time for it either, but it's just that is how I can. It is such a useful device.
Yep.
Even the big tech guys that talk about this stuff all the time, even they didn't see the popularity of the tablet.
Yeah.
And it's pretty incredible.
It is compelling. I don't know about you, but I didn't think I would use it as much as I do, and I didn't see how it changes the way you access and the frequency that you access the web with it.
Yeah.
And the apps are cool too. I mean, let's face it, a lot of the apps are really, they make it a powerful device. So
this isn't just a thing with farmers, just the population in general. People that haven't necessarily bought a smartphone, they haven't got a tablet. When we look back on this, it is like missing a whole communication revolution. It'd be like boycotting the telephone in general. It's amazing to me that there is still it's a shrinking population, but there are still some people that have no desire to have some of these devices. Well,
you're impatient, Sean. Think about it. All of this has kind of really come on in like 2 years, to be honest with you, right? The revolution in building applications and really powerful phones and now tablets. 2 years, that's pretty fast. I think it's just the old curve. It's early adopters, right? And then you always have your laggards. And
hey, we had a guy at the booth this morning. He loves his flip phone.
That's right. Yeah. So I would say I think it's moving fairly quickly. I'm sure there are always people that say, well, I don't need that, but the ones that are using it, I'm impressed with their ingenuity and how they use the devices, and they're getting a lot of power from it. So, be patient.
What would you say is the biggest complaint that you've heard from people as far as whatever smartphone they have?
Yeah, I don't think it's a complaint. I think it's the challenge we all have, is that there's a frustration about, there's angst about making the wrong decision about the next device. I'm afraid to buy I'm afraid, should I buy iPhone? What am I sacrificing? Should I support BlackBerry? Because I've always had one.
Yeah.
This Android sounds great.
When's the next version coming out? Because I don't want to buy one this week and next week it's the new one.
Right. People are that's the when you talk to people, it's what's my next phone going to be, and they ask us. When we do the seminars, it's a lot of people come to the seminars to be told what they should buy, and boy, I'm not going to tell them.
It really comes down to that's like giving a recommendation. Should you buy a Chev, a Ford, or a Dodge?
Yeah, it's becoming that way. But I think the analogy would be, what if each one of those Chev, Ford, Dodge, what if they all use different fuel?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it's at with apps, is that, right?
Yeah, for me personally, if you're asking me, the biggest complaint that I think I hear is it's battery life.
Yeah.
I really believe that the battery power hasn't necessarily met the usage of, and I'm a super user. So, but I even hear from people that use their smartphone mainly for email and for surfing the web. The battery doesn't last, and across all platforms. And that's iPhone, that's BlackBerry. I've seen guys that have the case where you charge the case and then the case charges your phone, just because the single charge isn't going to do it for them. Yeah,
well, I think it's just the compromise, small, light devices. I think that's the compromise. I think if we won't, it could be a bigger, clunkier device, maybe a better battery, but yeah, it's right. I don't have the answer, but it is, you're right, it's a common complaint.